Okay. Cool. Need to kind of get ready here. I know I'm definitely going to need a lot of this. There's some that are in there that are pretty gross looking. Let's see. A little more rubbing alcohol never hurt anybody. Okay, there are a few in here that I'm very interested in looking at first. They have kind of critically important pieces that I need to harvest off of them, which I do hope that are in good enough shape. What the heck? I'm gonna start with this one. Which, whoever this repair shop is. Nice documentation. Taken as damaged. Oh, it was... I wonder if I'm able to get this paint off. I don't know if I'm going to be able to. It almost looks like... Wow. So the part that I'm interested in is this top screen lens. I'm very uncertain that it's in good enough shape for me to use. I don't know though, I'm gonna give it a shot, try and clean it. Really what I'm looking for is like scratches. There's a scratch right here. Ideally I want to try and reuse this if I can. And a little hard to say. I'm guessing, I think they said top screen damage. Yeah. Top screen's toast, but unfortunately that piece of the LCD that's right underneath the scratch is busted. So I'm not going to be able to tell until I actually remove this top screen lens and put it on a good console. I'll just go ahead and assume that this touchscreen's bad. It's got some good scratches on it. Now, I'm wondering if I can do anything with this paint. It's definitely, well, unique. There's no blue DSi XLs that look like this, but yeah. This is supposed to be a Super Mario edition. I don't want to pick at it too much, but it is coming off. Might be able to get this off with soap and water, maybe even rubbing alcohol seems to be doing something.
That's the mating call of a blue-footed booby.
Ooh. Yeah, I might need the warm soapy water this one, or else I'm gonna be here for hours trying to pick this off. I do want to make sure that it is a Super Mario edition, just to see if those little character icons are under there. That I'm not dealing with like a Yep, Mario Bros. 25th anniversary. That's what I thought. So, a benefit to this paint is that it might actually shield this top shell from a lot of unnecessary damage. There could, like, if this took a lot of impacts. Impossible to tell until I actually peel it apart. I don't know about this damage right here. It almost looks like it's chemical burned.
So is her Chase debit card.
It's gotta be somewhere.
Maybe she lost it at Southside.
These skirts should have pockets.
Like, I don't know if, like, acetone got into here or something, but
But she's not worried. With the Chase
this is
logo,
definitely
she
damage to
pops
the
up.
plastic.
Turns up.
It's
Tools
not
help.
paint.
One bank that puts you in control. Visit chase.com/checking.
That would be kind of a shame if the only piece I can use is back shell. Did I leave any goodies? No goodies. Well, I'll go ahead and pull it apart. Guess it's no real surprise that the one that's subjected to an art experiment is a little sticky. So I do hope I can use that top screen lens. That's really all that I want these Super Mario editions for anymore, because you can't buy them. Okay. I have a little bag off to the side I'll be dropping parts into. Ooh, okay. Everything's gonna be a little difficult to uninstall, it seems. Put the battery off to the side. I don't really want this paint to be getting on everything, so I'm just gonna tear a piece of this paper towel off. Put that to the side. Okay. Looks like it was water damaged. Fantastic. The console turned on, so I feel like these consoles can take quite a bit of water damage before they actually become an issue. That's, of course, case by case, but the console turned on, so I'm guessing it's spared a majority of damage. But we'll see. All will tell. Because if whatever liquid was poured on this console was isolated in the battery bay, then yeah, of course it would have tripped that one, but see if the one on the motherboard is tripped. I have good enough. I have a hunch that this was not pulled apart before. The water damage indicator on the motherboard isn't tripped. Yeah. I go ahead and just take all the components off of this bottom shell, get them into the area I need to be for them to be cleaned. 'Cause they will need it. place set aside for shell pieces right now. Looks like the buttons are in good enough shape. No rust. Oh, I need that. That can go up there. These pieces can go in my bag of parts. Need to bring up my phone battery. Okay. No rest on the Wi-Fi board. Good, good. All things considered, this thing's in pretty good shape. Game card pins look good. Oh. Charge port solid. Awesome. Motherboard's over there. This bottom screen, from what I could tell, had a good digitizer, or bad digitizer, good LCD. These buttons. Place those in my bag. Get these cables unrouted. Some rubbing alcohol on the screw covers. Ooh. Yeah, that went well. Okay, okay. I don't know why I'm being careful. I'm probably not even going to use this piece. I'll look at it when I take it all apart. I'm guessing this is probably just scrap. The glossy shell piece, though. Kind of interested to see if I can save it. Watch that be the piece that's in the best shape. To get all that paint off. Oh, this thing feels weird. I'm used to the glossy shell feeling a certain way, and ugh. I'm guessing this damage up here is kind of fusing the shell pieces. This is going to be fairly difficult.
Some people just know safe drivers save
If I
more
can just
with
get a
Allstate.
little bit of it apart, I might be able to slide a pry tool and
And not
sort of
a
break the
blue
shell
footed
apart.
booby. Yeah, some people know that. And they know if you're a safe driver, you can save up to 40% with Allstate. Ain't that something?
I really don't want to use anything metal. There we go. The LCD's already busted, so I don't care about that. Okay, there. I did hear it pop a few times, so maybe that was sort of the key. Now let's try and persuade this shell piece apart. Okay, that may have done it. Voila. Now, like I said, I might be able to save this one. It's gonna take a very long bath. Oh dear. Hello, Baldur's Gate 3.
These skirt should
This one was part of a crafting project, it would seem. Just to give context, this color is supposed to be, or this red is supposed to look like this, which it is not. It has been painted blue. Don't know why, but... Oh, you've been told to pester me? Oh, good luck. Going home? You're not already home? What the heck? Take off the little metal piece that covers the camera and the microphone. Move the Wi-Fi antenna. Oh, the speaker wants to go free. I'll take those out. The heck? There you go. You're 1 foot in Dreamland. What's that supposed to mean? Are you sleeping at work? That's kind of rude. Ah. I don't know. Looks kind of hangry from here. I think a Doritos Locos Tacos would fix that. Maybe some of that Baja Blast. There you go. And I don't need to be too careful with this. This top screen's busted, but I'd rather not harm the cameras if I don't need to. Voila. Get a spot ready for all of these cables and microphone and stuff. Pop the hinge out. This is busted. Ah, good days those are. Yeah, this shell looks like it was hit with like acetone or something. Maybe even super glue. So I can't use these shell pieces. It's just a bit of a shame. Oh well. And then this one I might be able to clean, I don't know yet. It's a lot of paint. Well, fantastic. Not the most consistent, it's just kind of whenever I have time. Well, yeah. These are consoles meant for kids, so I don't expect them to be in the best of shape. Okay, I'll do another red one. Those are kind of one of the two reasons I bought this lot, for these two reds and these two pink consoles. Thankfully, or maybe not thankfully, these came from a repair shop, so they would know that it's probably beyond trying to save. Top screen broken. Sometime last year. Huh, cool. Ooh, that's some interesting damage. Oh. You mean like this one? I see a lot of like sticker bomb ones. Which, if that's what you want, go for it. It's not really my cup of tea. Ooh, I lucked out. These have screen protectors on them. Heck yeah, I can reuse this top screen lens. I may even be able to reuse this bottom screen. These screen protectors though look a little strange. It looks like somebody like manually cut them. Awesome. I love it when people use screen protectors. I love it a lot. And that top screen is indeed busted. And wow. It looks like this console was like shoved into something. That's wild. Ooh, this layer is actually coming apart. I've never actually peeled these two layers apart. I'm probably not going to use this top screen. So interesting. I thought this was like a clear plastic, but no, it's actually red. It's like a red glossy plastic. That is fascinating, because these things are laminated together and you just can't get them off through conventional means, but since this thing is damaged, I might have to science this apart at one time and just see what it looks like. What do you mean it lasted a week? What did you do to the poor thing? These things are pretty bulletproof. Like, I've seen some in really horrible shape that are actually just fine. Well, after a good bath. Oh, did this come with any treasures? No. It came from a repair shop. They probably took all the treasures. Oh, you got it a week after release. Ah. Gotcha. I didn't get the original DSi. I went from the Lite to the DSi XL. Oh yeah, that's pretty impressive. Especially when it comes to like this glossy top shell piece. It will find scratches. I swear you could store it in cotton its entire life and it will be scratched. I've never been a fan of glossy, which is kind of where the DSi, the original DSi, is kind of coming handy because they have matte top piece for their shells. which I like much better, but getting some more alcohol. Last one. Yeah, I didn't start using cases until the 3DS came out, but by that time I had already sold my DSi XL to have the money to buy a 3DS. Whether or not that was a good decision, I don't know. I had quite a bit of fun with the 3DS. And if they were a little cheaper, I would probably be working on those, but their junk consoles are just way too expensive. I don't quite have that money kicking around, and I don't know if the profit margins are probably pretty great. Especially if I installed a capture card in them. But that's getting into a whole different area. But man, selling relatively affordable capture card systems, that's an untapped market.
And just like you know, a saxophone solo
Anyway,
makes any song smoother.
get this thing apart.
See? Smooth. And they know if you're a safe driver, you can save up to 40% with Allstate. Now that's nice.
Based on the national average.
And then basically since then I've been storing everything in cases. I guess with the
Based on how you buy. Allstate Fire and Casualty
with the exception of the Nintendo Switch, you can't really put a case on that because of just how the dock is. And I play my Switch majorly in a dock.
A scent so fresh, so life-changing. I had to find its source. I didn't know if you were the
I'll need more than coin, but
or the retired mailman.
the gesture is appreciated.
One of you was my son.
Well, let's get this apart.
Need inspiration? Shop Fred Meyer for thousands of appetizing ingredients that inspire countless mouth-watering meals with savings beyond low prices. Like digital coupons worth over $600 each week and up to $1 off per gallon at the pump. So you can get big flavors and big savings. Fred Meyer, fresh for everyone. Restrictions apply.
Checks.
And now, shop what you love and save $2 on each participating item when you buy 3 or more with your card.
And it really depends, like,
For everyone.
it really depends on what type of person you are and how you play your Switch. Like, I play my Switch, I've only ever played it undocked. Maybe like 10% of its life. The rest of the time it's been docked. But there are people who are the exact opposite, who just only ever use the dock to charge it. My brother-in-law's like that. I think Mr. Mark's like that as well. So the value for a Switch Lite, I don't see a value in it at all. Why Nintendo made a Switch that can't dock, it baffles me. But Nintendo works in mysterious ways. Gift subs. I don't have like anything. I don't think I have anything set up to take any type of payment. The gesture is of course appreciated. Yeah. chuck those in my bag of parts. Oh, well, yeah. But then it's going to Japan, shopping in Japan, and then taking everything home. Which, if... Yeah, I don't know, you can use like Japanese, like you could use like proxies for Japanese auction sites to get cheap stuff, but there's a lot of fees associated with it. I've looked into it, but... And then it's also trying to sell Japanese consoles, which in the 3DS worlds, if I'm heavily modifying it, then that might not be a problem, but selling modded consoles is kind of a gray legal area. I think you can sell modded consoles as long as they don't have any ROMs on them. But I know when I mentioned homebrewing in my eBay listings, eBay, the automatic systems would pull my listings down. So I just choose to sell everything as stock. Yahoo! Thankfully, homebrewing for the DSi is very, very, very simple. And there's some very good guides. Or there is a very good guide, I should say. So the bottom screen's in fantastic shape. Top screen just needs a new LCD. Really? I don't think I can use the glossy top shell piece, but I think with the exception of a top screen, I have one good DSi that I could make out of these two. Which is always nice. Yeah, it's a pretty good guide. I need to homebrew more often so I'm more familiar with the process, but putting unlaunch on these consoles can be really dicey, because once you start doing NAND modifications, you run the risk of bricking this thing, and I'd rather not brick any more motherboards than I need to. Which I haven't yet, but I'd rather not. I'll just put good on this screen. Relatively clean. It's nice. Throw these in my little bag of parts. Oh. Alright, look at me, I already took apart the top screen. Okay. No, yeah. I just can't use that. Thankfully, the glossy shell piece, though, it is nice to have some that are in good shape. I'm less worried about those parts. I'm not really too concerned about like how cosmetically good or bad the consoles look, as long as they function and they're obviously not broken. So what that usually means is this bottom face shell, this shell right here, is the most important because that's where the hinge will break. And there's no repairing a shell that's had a broken hinge. You just have to completely reshell it. Which is unfortunate because OEM shells are very good. I don't like the third-party shells. At least the 2 or so that I've dealt with. Don't really like them. So I'll happily take a kind of scratched up OEM shell over a third-party one. Okay. Pop out the hinge. Sort of wiggle these guys apart to see where this little metal ring is. It's sticking to the bottom shell. I don't want that. So to shift it over to the top. And feed the both ribbons into that little channel. Voila. Coil up the 2 ribbon cables here into the little metal ring. Wi-Fi antenna can go over there. Slice apart the adhesive. A little bit of encouragement. Disassembled. Let's get busted. Put that over here. I need to get the speakers off of it. And I have a place where I put them where I will harvest the top screen lens if I see fit. Alright, let's look at the HANA console. Screen stay black. Oh, you can if you want. I would appreciate the sales. You do that if you have, what, like, probably up to $500 kicking around. I think I have 4 up. I have 5 up right now, I think. Screen stay black, okay. Huh, that sounds a little strange. So, console turns on, both screens are black, it's not responding to my power button. This is usually a Wi-Fi daughter board issue. I'm going to look at it, see if maybe it became unplugged. Maybe the socket went bad. It just needs to be reflown. We'll see. $2 whole. Wow. Can you even buy a Taco Bell meal with that? Probably not anymore. I don't know, you're some pretty good bartering, but I might have to decline. You're gonna have to put a couple zeros on the end of those. You get free food. Ah, I see. Well, I think I picked up this lot of 12 consoles for $22-ish a console, which is very good. And I picked up 12 of them, so that was quite a large investment with money I'm having less and less of because I'm not working right now. Free tacos, huh? Gonna need a lot of tacos. Miso. Why you do this? I'll start by unplugging and plugging back in the Wi-Fi card. Make sure it's nice and seated. No change. Okay. Unlimited Baja Blast. Maybe we can hook a garden hose up to like the drink dispenser and just pipe it into my room. That'd be kind of nice. Okay, so it does not happen very often. It's more rare. I think I've only come across it once before, but those Wi-Fi cards can go bad, so I'm gonna try one off of that red console I just pulled apart. Little hamster cage water dripper. I like that. Oh, you'll take it under advisement. I'll need something more concrete if we want to make a deal. Still solid black. Okay. Let me try another Wi-Fi card. And then I'll do something a little more creative.
Keep winning and create an affordable price just for you by bundling your home and auto with the State Farm personal price plan. It's like
I did not check the region on these consoles. I'm pretty sure they're all American.
just another way to save with the personal price plan. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Prices are based on rating plans that vary by state. Coverage options are selected by the customer. Availability, amount of discounts, savings, and eligibility vary by state.
Okay, yeah, both of those red ones were American.
Facing life's moments together, including back-to-school shopping with your kids.
Mr. Jonathan Taco Bell himself? Wow. That's a high honor. I didn't know you had his number.
Kleenex Ultra Soft tissues are made with 3 thick layers to comfort skin and help protect hands. Grab Kleenex, the number
Okay,
one
nothing.
features.
I suspect that the port probably needs to be reflown. I've had that a couple times where the actual port that the Wi-Fi card plugs into just needs to be resoldered. Whether or not just like the shifting of the card due to the flexing of the back shell broke the solder joints. I am gonna try something a little difficult to do. Holding the battery, putting pressure on the Wi-Fi card.
$0 delivery fees on your first 3 grocery orders. Offer valid for a limited time. Other fees and terms apply.
You like my funny words? Okay. Thank you. Very curious. I never did try a different battery. I'm actually not sure. Exist? I hope so. Last time I checked, I exist, but I can't really verify it. Well, I can pinch myself and it still kind of hurts, so maybe that's a pretty good indicator that I'm still alive. I'll look at my problems and solutions. See what I have on this error. Oh, right, because, yeah, I remember that. That was from a marathon a while back when Carolyn put Killy again on the schedule. And then I, of course, had to take that opportunity to say, who the hell is Killy again? Power's on, both screens are black, there's no sound. Console is frozen, doesn't turn off automatically, battery needs to be turned bold. It could be an homebrew error. The console may be bricked. Oof. I hope not. Well, it doesn't really seem to have anything to do with the Wi-Fi board. Swapping it out with 3 different ones didn't seem to change anything. I can try one more just for shits and giggles, but I can try reflowing that port a little later. But fact that I'm not able to get it to turn on, me pressing it. I'm very not confident it's the Wi-Fi board. I don't think I'm ready for two of me. It's hard enough with one of me. Oh, fourth Wi-Fi board. It's no bueno. I'll put pressure on it again, but... Ah! A broken prong on the connection piece. So what I'm kind of talking about reflowing the connector is it's this little piece right here. And since the Wi-Fi, this little Wi-Fi daughter board, it sits on top or plugs into the connector, and all that's holding it back here is like a little cushion. It can move. So my sort of prevailing theory is if like the back of the console were to take like a significant hit and it were to like smack this card where it plugs in, it could break the really extremely tiny solder joints on those legs. I've successfully revived a console by just reflowing those, just with my solder iron running across both sides. But usually I'm able to like, usually I can get some type of life out of these consoles if I hold down over the plug to sort of like say like to get those pins to make contact with the board if it was a pin issue, but since I'm putting good pressure on this and it's not coming alive, it might be bricked. I don't really have too much information to go off of to make that like concrete determination, but that's all I got so far. I've been spending a lot of time trying to collect information on these consoles to try and troubleshoot them. Like, I'm looking at like a 23-page long document that I've been curating, trying to get all of the problems that I could possibly find written down. Probably. I haven't tested it. I assume they're okay. Not very often do they actually go bad. And software bricked, if you didn't know, is basically what I assume is somebody probably tried to do a mod on this thing where you actually write like software to the main NAND chip right here. And if something goes wrong along the way or you mess up, you have the possibility of ruining something within the NAND chip itself. And since I can't turn the console on, I can't do anything software-wise. So the only way to actually resurrect this console would be to have a backup of this chip. Software-wise, you can make backups of it with certain pieces of software. And then I would have to solder to certain points onto the board and actually like force the software onto this chip, which I don't have the backup. So as far as I know right now, this board is junk. There might be a way for me to like put software onto that chip, but that's definitely something for another day. Or there might be a solution that I'm not aware of. Maybe there's a component on here that goes bad that I haven't heard of yet. That could be preventing this console from turning on. But all signs are pointing to it's not turning on, obviously, but... maybe one day I'll reflow the Wi-Fi port only to find out that no, that wasn't the issue. Because I have no reason to believe it is. I don't know. It'll go into my shoebox of motherboards that don't quite know what to do with. Or that need repairs, I guess I should say. So I strip all the components off of it just so it's a visual cue to tell me that there's something wrong with this board. Usually the boards that are in okay shape, I keep the Wi-Fi board and the power board with them. So you're talking more like if there were like connections that were bridged? Sure. I don't know why I'm doubt that came out of the factory like that. Because that would really be the only way. I have no reason to believe this console was pulled apart at any time, and just judging by the finger goo that's gotten into the D-pad, this console's been played. So it worked up until it didn't. And that's about all the information I have. That's all the context clues I can gain. I would figure if the console got hot enough to actually melt solder, both of these screens would be toast. Especially these stickers. I wouldn't... Well, maybe the stickers. I can test these screens, but I really don't think LCD screens would survive that much heat, where the PS5 doesn't have a screen in it. Sure, I suppose it's possible, but then I would be looking around here for a bridged solder joint. Sure. Like, I guess in theory that would happen. I really don't see how these screens would survive that much heat. But a DS console would be one that would be left out in the car, so that does make some amount of sense. Excuse me, Jerry Sticker, you're in the way. Like, yeah, I suppose it's possible. I've never seen that actually happen. I figure it's far more likely that somebody tried to mod this console and it went wrong. They skipped a step, or maybe they were impatient, or maybe the battery died when they were doing some critical process of the modding and just completely fried it. I am very interested in this top screen lens, as like with the red consoles, the pink consoles also I can't buy parts for. And since the lenses are the front-facing cosmetic pieces for these consoles, I unfortunately just can't get them, and they're very important. I can't sell consoles without them.
Meet Cheryl.
Hey,
She's on vacation and lost in the moment. Unfortunately, so is her Chase debit card.
it's gotta be something.
It's gotta be somewhere.
These skirts should have pockets.
Or maybe she lost it at Pilates.
3 and 2.
But She's not worried. With the Chase mobile app, she can lock her card so it turns up.
Okay, those stickers will be fun to take off.
Visit chase.com/checking. Chase, make more of what's yours.
Chase mobile app is available for select mobile devices. Message and data rates may apply. KB Morgan Chase Bank and a member FDIC.
Hey parents, Instacart here. And this season,
Oh, no problem.
you're back to school.
Not a bad idea,
We've got your back
but
if it derails your grocery trip the weekend before school starts because
I've never seen it happen on these consoles.
and ankle socks aren't cool anymore, Mom. But it's all
That would be
good
a
because
hell of a
you
lot of
have
heat to melt
groceries
solder.
and school lunch stuff you need from the comfort of your ankle socks. I mean, home. Download the app to get
I just feel like there would maybe be some more context clues that just something's a little off.
Minimum $10 per order. Additional terms apply. Need inspiration? Shop Fred Meyer for thousands of appetizing.
And if it did melt solder under like the main board, like under the main,
And up to $1 off per gallon at the pump, so you can get
like under these main chips, if there's a bridge solder joint under there, there's really not much I can do. I don't have the means of reballing those chips. Oh yeah, I know there's one or two of them on YouTube that some repair YouTubers that I talk about mention, because they send their consoles over to that guy and he cleans them. There's always a market for something. Oh, here it is. Okay, I'll kind of inspect those buttons later. I don't really have any reason to suspect anything wrong with them. As long as they're not rusty, I put them in my part bag. Get this little plate off. Wi-Fi antenna. Microphone. Get the speakers and the grills off. Ooh. Neat. Come on now. Okay, now take these little pieces out. Ooh. I have some stickiness on them. Sure does. Well, let's see what the condition of these screens are, so I'll grab the motherboard from that red console. Wi-Fi board in, let me grab the bottom screen. Looks like I'll need to get this digitizer replaced, it's got a pretty good scratch on it. battery in, and there are some. I don't know if I'd quite call it backlight bleed. Money, money, money! I'll have to look at that screen a little closer. That LCD might not be usable for me. But the lens is all I care about. I have enough LCD screens. Put those into my records. Shell put back together. My little cleaning pile. Which is still very big, even though I did a cleaning yesterday. So on this one I'm just gonna put double check. Good LCD, bad digitizer. Okay, I think that's all I'm gonna do. I need to let my phone recharge after doing all my eBay stuff. Do a couple videos and a lot of images for that. So cool, got 3 apart. I think I can use all the parts that I need from them, so that's a success.